Welcome to this episode of Stories from the Trenches, brought to you by Natera Performance Solutions.
Hi guys, final Stories from the Trenches this month is entitled Optimising the Lift but Overflowing the Bucket. Really simple story here that happened to me when I was working in sprint cycling. Essentially, I started working with a group as their strength coach, and it was early GPP, so we were in a heavy strength block. The coach had given me quite a lot of autonomy to work with the squad and do their strength program, which is a little bit rare in a sprint cycling program where the sprint coach can often do the gym program themselves. So anyway, we were off and running, 6-week block. We'd finished a 6-week block of training and we were now doing some testing on the track. And it became pretty obvious that performance was far below what we would normally expect at this time of year. However, in the gym, the guys were absolutely flying. We were getting PRs left, right, and center, and the guys never felt better in the gym. Looking through the program with a fine-tooth comb, basically my biggest change was really trying to optimize that strength training, the lifts. And let's say, for example, we had a 3 doubles at 240 kilo squat, for example. And I was trying to optimize that squat. So I'd go through a extensive dynamic flex routine, mobility routine, activation, do some explosive rate of force development type work to really prime the neuromuscular system. And then I'd go through gradual loading, from 60 kilos to 90 to 120 to 160 to 80, 180, 200, 220 before we actually lifted. Going down from reps of 5s to 4s to 3s to doubles to singles. You know what I mean. But essentially, I was training them like a powerlifter and I was warming them up like a powerlifter for their key lift. So we're doing up to 6 to 8 sets. Yes, they were flying in the gym. Once they got used to that warm-up, they never felt better in a squat. However, what I was doing was overflowing the bucket. So they just did not have enough left at the end through the weeks to optimize their performance in the track. And when you think about it, my training loads, say for the working sets, are supposed to be around 1,500 kilos, but my warm-up sets were around 2,000 kilos. So you multiply that 3 times a week, you multiply that for multiple weeks. Well, I was actually filling that bucket up a lot with extra load. That, it optimized performance in the gym, but I wasn't aware of what the priorities were. And the priorities were to try and optimize performance in the gym while we don't sacrifice what's going on in the velodrome. So, learning lesson, quickly changed that to 2 warm-up sets, got a lot of fluff out of the program. They were still able to perform well in the gym, and we could optimize the track. So what does that mean moving forward? For me, it changed the way I looked at all the other elements of the program. I understood what my key rocks were, and then I understood what the other elements of the program were, and then what they might be doing to the system, because only so much can go into this bucket before it overflows. In this case, the overflowing of the bucket was poor performance on the track for my sprint cyclists. However, it could also be soft tissue injuries and long-term underperformance. So it's something to consider. All elements of the training program go in to fill up that bucket. You might think it's just a little prehab session. You might just think it's their second small warm-up session of the day, but it's all elements that go in the program. Pilates, massage, you name it, everything adds up and everything can overflow the bucket. Sometimes used for good extra work, but just be cognizant of the fact that everything that goes in, there's a limit on what we can tolerate. Have a happy new year.